the session. All right, I believe we all good. Okay, so let me share my screen, then we'll start. Please let me know if my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it's visible.
All right, thanks, Bhavana. Let's see you are joined already. All right, guys. So welcome to the session, right? And thanks for joining. So let's just start. I'm expecting more people need to be joined. Okay, but we will not wait further because we'll start on time and we'll have some basic discussion about the SD-WAN. So let's. I can see Amol joined, Bhavana, Harsh, Jai, Manjeet, Parth, Prashant, Sanjay. All right, so we are good. Okay, so welcome you all once again with the GuiNet Technology, and today we are going to discuss a very important thing that is a Cisco SD-WAN. We'll try to explore this technology from basic to advanced level. So initially, we'll try to understand why this SD-WAN is very important, why every organization is just moving their legacy WAN infra to the SD-WAN, and what are the benefits we have with the SD-WAN, right? And what are the key challenges earlier we have in the legacy WAN, and that's why every organization doing the digital transformation and they are just discussing about to just migrate their legacy WAN on the SD-WAN. I'm just assuming like everyone have the very good understanding about the WAN technologies, and that's why you guys are here to just upgrade yourself to the legacy WAN. Means from legacy WAN to SD-WAN. So we'll try to explore a little bit about the WAN, how the WAN architecture was earlier, and after that, how SD-WAN come in a picture. What is the history? Right, SD-WAN history also we'll try to understand. And also we'll try to understand the key component of the SD-WAN. So that is going to be gradually later on, right? We'll discuss about the key component of the SD-WAN. But first we'll understand the basic foundations of the like legacy WAN versus the SD-WAN. Also, we'll try to understand the key challenges that was available in the legacy WAN and then how my SD-WAN is going to overcome those kind of challenges, right? Uh, Hari Siken, I believe if I'm not wrong, you have any question? I can see you. You are on mute. Okay, so I believe we are good here. All right, so I believe everyone discharged here and everyone have the full energy to understand, right? So once again, welcome you all in today's live session, and I'll be your instructor, and I'm going to do the deep dive about all these SD-WAN components. So first, we'll try to understand what is the SD-WAN and why we need the SD-WAN, right? So before I just explain the SD-WAN, we have to understand the what is the WAN technology. So I'm just going to give brief an idea about the WAN, right? So if I talk about the WAN, right? So that is known as the wide area network. And this wide area network having like requirement when I have to connect my two different remote locations that are basically might be the thousands mile away or might be more than or even more than 1 kilometer or might be a 2 kilometer or might be two different cities. So if two buildings even have the very high distance, that also required the WAN. So WAN is basically if I want to connect to LAN infra, and after that I just want to make sure they are going to communicate each other, then WAN is going to come like and that is going to make the connectivity. So how the WAN connectivity is going to be achieved? So you can see here we have the LAN, and WAN is the wide area network, and based on that we are just connecting two branches, two offices. So we have the ISPs, right? Like if we are in the India, we have a lot of ISP like Jio, Airtel, Vodafone, that is a VI. Other also local ISP available. If you go for the global, we have the Verizon, we have the AT&T, we have the Orange, we have the Bell Canada, we have the Etisalat. So a lot of different ISP available across the globe. And these ISP basically responsible to provide the WAN connectivity. Means you just have to take the circuits. After taking the circuits, you just have to deploy those circuits on your routers, firewalls, or might be on the L3 switches. L3 switch is also capable to handle the WAN traffic for the small or medium range of the clients if you have. And after that you can just connect your different geographical locations where your offices are there, and you can just make the connectivity with the WAN. You can see here, so we have the different locations, we have the different kind of the connectivity, data center, branches, might we have the warehouse, might we have some kind of the uh, like the manufacturing unit, might be the you are just a car manufacturer, motorcycle bike manufacturer, or other kind of the banking sector. So you have to communicate, then you always going to require this WAN technology. So when there was the WAN, right, it was perfectly working fine uh, till, if I talk 2015 and 16, it was everything is fine, right? People are just happily taking the MPLS circuits, internet circuits, and they're just deploying the WAN. But sudden in 2015 and 16, there is a new technology come in the market, and that was the SD-WAN. And gradually, like every organization start moving their, transformation from the WAN to means legacy WAN to SD-WAN. And nowadays, still some of the, or I can say most of the company are having the WAN technology, and they keep migrate care. They're just trying to do the migrations on the SD-WAN. Or most of the company have already, if you talk with the major companies who are just having the future digital transformation, they are looking to integrate and save the cost. They have already done the digital transformation, and their sites are running on the SD-WAN, right? So if some engineer who have the legacy WAN knowledge, and suddenly you have to start working the SD-WAN in regard of the any vendor, I'm not going to talk about the vendor specific, because you have a lot of vendors available in the market, right? We have the Palo Alto SD-WAN solution, we have the Versa SD-WAN solutions, we have the Silver Peak SD-WAN solutions, we have the Velo Cloud SD-WAN solution, we have the Cisco, Meraki, Zscaler, Netspoke, so Carto, lot of vendor, Nokia, Nova, so a lot of vendors are available in the market. So I'm not going to talk about the vendor specific. I'm just going to talk about the generic, like how the things is going to work, right? If I just compare with the legacy one versus the SD-WAN solution. So the idea behind is, right, to just make sure to have some short of the network where whatever the problem associated with the legacy WAN, that all problems should be tackled. And also at the same time, we should have to make sure my network should be scalable, and also at the same time they have the less complexity, right? And also at the same time it should be like having some flexibility where I can do the routings. WAN is more responsible for the routing. So basically, I should have some kind of the requirement where not only limit my routing based on the destination IP. It should be also based on the any applications, based on the some sort of the application, like if I talk about the application, should be like any services, any kind of the what else, like any kind of application that could be the WhatsApp, YouTube, or might be the HTTP, HTTPS, Telnet, SSH, that all kind of services also responsible to do the routing decisions. So we have some sort of the intelligence in the WAN where we have the intent-based networking process. Earlier it was not there. So we'll try to explore how this intent-based networking is going to come in place, and how basically based on this intent-based networking, my WAN traffic is going to be routed to the any destination in regard of the destination-based routing. So if you guys remember in the legacy WAN, always you do the routing based on the destination. So if I have one single subnet, let's suppose this is my subnet, right? Just I'm giving the example 0/24. So this subnet have 254 valid IP address. So let's say suppose in 254 valid IP, different services I'm going to host. Like I'm going to host the Citrix, right? I'm going to host like the file server, right? I'm going to host some kind of the RDP services, right? Or might be some other features also. So they all are going to belong in the same subnet. And if I have the two routers available in my sites, and if I'm going to receive this subnet from the one router, right? And this is another backup router. and this route is going to preferred by this router via the BGP, or might be have the static route or default route. This is having the best route. So always your traffic will go out to this destination via this particular router only. If this entire subnet is going to preferred by this R1. But let's suppose you don't want to send the route based on the prefixes. You want to send the routing based on your services. In regard the prefix coming from which router, I don't want to care. I want to use some intelligence. I want to send even prefix is coming best route from this particular router, but still I want to send Citrix traffic via this particular router. It is doable from the SD-WAN. If I want to send some RDP traffic via this router, it is doable, right? The file server I want to send via this Citrix, or my other traffic I want to send via this router, it is doable. So basically the limitation was with the WAN technology, we have to do the routing based on the destinations. So this SD-WAN also overcome this problem by using the application aware routing, right? So that is known as the AAR. That is application aware routing. We'll do the lab and we'll check how it is going to work, but I'm just giving the idea. So by using that, we overcome this problem and we have some Gagan. Yeah, thanks for mute. So we have some idea how basically my routing can be changed based on the application. So WAN was basically capable to just handle all the traffic, but this WAN technology start become insufficient, right? When the way of working has been changed. So earlier this was just a concept, but when pandemic arose in 2019, this transformation become like a very urgent requirement. Why it's urgent requirement? Because earlier the work culture was. So earlier the work culture was in this way. Let's suppose I have to work for the any kind of the customer or client or my the organization. I have to work from the office. Always I have to go office and I have to work from office. But due to this pandemic, what happened? The organization existing setup was become insufficient, right? Insufficient in different way, right? First, whatever the legacy setup they have, that was not that much, robust where they can like address all the work from home user traffic at a very large scale. Also, at the same time, they having a challenges for the security, right? Like they have the challenges how my traffic or sensitive data should be secure even my employee working from the anywhere. So this was the also challenges. At the same time, another challenge is because they have not only the application hosted in the data center, they have also very popular applications, SaaS applications. They might be hosted in a different cloud providers. It could be the Azure, it could be the AWS, it could be might be GCP or some other third party cloud providers, private public cloud, whatever that. So if I have the integration, then how those application is going to be accessible from the work from home? And then if it is going to be accessible, how many tunnel I have to build from my data center or my the hub locations? So those challenges also going to create a lot of problem. So to mitigate those problem, they have the compulsion to do something or they have to go with that technology who can handle those all kind of requirement and eliminate those kind of the all complexity or problem. Or at the same time, they can save the cost, right? So that's why after pandemic, earlier it was just a concept and some customer are just doing like initial in 2015, 16, 17 and 18. But after pandemic, if you remember guys, during the pandemic it was like a huge demand for the network security engineers and people who have the 4 5 year experience and might be the 10-year experience and they are having like any kind of the offer or might be serving the notice period. Company was hiring like it was a crazy time, right? During that pandemic, like if you have the one offer, might be you are going to get four counter offers. People are going to pay 20 lakh, 30 lakh, 40 lakh, whatever amount you're going to ask, company are going to pay, because that time every company was just focusing on the network migrations, digital transformation. They have the huge projects and resources was very low. So that was the time many engineers had upgraded themselves and just they multiply their CTC might be 3x or 4x. I know like very much people who have done, because I'm keep in touch with those students who just done training with me during that time. So they just tell their story like how it was just, they bring the multiple counter offers and this uh, just join the very higher package for a different company. So during that time, every company start doing the migrations, and then after migrations, company having the very robust network, and basically they move from the legacy WAN to SD-WAN solutions. So let's discuss like in legacy WAN, what were the key challenges? So if I go in the slide, I can just show you a lot of benefits we have with the SD-WANs, right? But let's discuss what are the key challenges. I'm not going to discuss in the slide. Let's talk in the real time scenario, right? What are the key challenges we have with the SD-WAN? Sorry, legacy WAN. So legacy WAN's first challenges, let's suppose you have to bring your any kind of the connectivity. Let's suppose you have to build, let's suppose you want to build this kind of the network, right? So how it is going to happen? So probably you have to go and purchase the your MPLS circuits, right? This is the option. Might we have to purchase two dual MPLS circuits, or might be you're going to purchase one MPLS, one internet. So if I'm going to purchase the MPLS circuits, that's quite reliable, quite secure. No problem with that. Also, we have a lot of kind of the flexibility where we can do the routing, we can do the path manipulation, but still routing is going to happen based on the destination IP only. But this MPLS circuits is quite expensive. So what is the problem going to be happen? So let's suppose this is my branch location, right? And let's think about, just assume that from this branch location, what kind of services might be people are going to access right now, or might be during that time. So before the cloud was there, we having a simple architecture, means DC, or might be you have the DR, and all application are going to host my data center. So this branch required the connectivity to DC or DR. Is simple things was there. So you just have to install the router. This router have the routing reachability to your DC and your DR location. So anything user sitting here want to access, they have to go DC and they have to access the applications, any Citrix, any Cloudways. And another things, they want to go on the internet, so they have the local breakout or might be central breakout. So what is a local breakout? Local breakout, that means I have the DIA circuits, I have the internet circuit directly on my branch location. I can directly go on the internet via the DIA. So for any internet traffic, I can access via DIA. Central breakout, that means by taking the default route, I'll go my DC, right? And DC have some kind of internet link. And then after DC, I can go to the internet, and also we have the firewalls here. So this is how my internet traffic could be like connected from the any branch location. This is the only two setups probably we have to DC and DR. No other SASE solution was there, no Zscaler. We can integrate our in-house proxy like Bluecode proxy for the any web traffic. So proxy is going to just hide your internal IP address, and just on behalf of you, they are going to reach your destinations, and further traffic is going to come, then they are going to reply back to you, and also they process some kind of the filtering and malware protection and all. So that solution also there, right? So now what is the problem? So the problem is, if I'm going to use the MPLS circuit, that is going to be definitely very high expensive. At the same time, when I have the multiple source of the traffic, means multiple hosted traffic, might be the SaaS applications. Let me just write it here. Might we have the SaaS application, right? SaaS application, what is the best example? We have the O365, that is a SaaS application. We have the box.com, right? We have the Workday, right? These are SaaS application. We have the Salesforce, right? Different application we have, right? That is a SaaS application. Google Drive. So these application could be hosted anywhere in the cloud, right? And they have the multiple SaaS providers. So how my connectivity should be built from this location to the SaaS provider? That is the one challenge. Do I need to bring the dedicated circuit like the express route, or shall I go with the internet circuits? If I'm going with the internet circuit, then I have the challenges about the security, how my security is going to mitigate, and how my data is going to be very secure. And also at the same time, guarantee delivery, means my SLA, it should not like I have taken the internet circuit, then it's a very unreliable connectivity, always have some kind of the problem in the link, and also my packet is not delivering on the time because of the high latency of the internet circuits. That consideration also going to create a problem. Third thing, even I have taken the internet circuit, let's suppose I want to save my cost and I want to build IP sector DMVP internal with these providers, right? So in that case, it is going to add the complexity in my network, because being engineer, you have to troubleshoot, you have to do the configuration. So the router configuration, failover scenario, other complexity is going to come in a picture. So by doing the SaaS, application integration, you adding one more layer of the complexity. Now, third things after SaaS, you have some kind of a data center, which is based on the cloud providers. So might be we have the, let me write here. We have the Azure based service data centers. We might be have the AWS, might be have the GCP. So might be you are going to host the AD services in might be the Azure. AWS, you are going to host some short of the like SD-WAN controller, or might be some other services you are taking from the AWS and GCP as well. So company have that verticile kind of the connectivity, like they can host anything to anywhere. So if I'm hosting, then again, I have to build the connectivity from branch location. So see how many connectivity I have to build. So if I have the legacy WAN solutions, so legacy WAN solution basically going to create a lot of complexity. And that was not cloud ready solutions, means cloud ready or SaaS based solution. So the one thing is expensive MPLS circuits. And if I'm going to use some kind of the cloud ready solutions, that is also it's going to be impact your performance. It is just going to add a lot of complexity, and also it is going to create a lot of problem in your network in troubleshooting also, and it also going to add a cost. That was not agile solutions, right? They not have the agility. So this is the one problem. I'm just saying we have the multiple problem. If I talk the real time scenario, let me give one more examples. Uh, so this kind of problem we can eliminate with the SD-WAN solution. So I'll talk how it is going to be eliminated. Let's think another scenario, how this WAN was creating a problem for you. So just think about this is the WAN circuit, and just think about we have the scenario where I have some applications hosted in my data center, or might be some application hosted in the Azure. So one is my private DC and one is my Azure, right? Let's suppose you have very good kind of the circuits you have taken to make them connectivity with the primary router, with secondary router, anything if you have, and below LANs is connected and user are connected. This user complaining that, hey, I'm facing a slowness issue. Let's suppose this is your primary router where both of the circuit is connected. This is secondary router, right? Where we have the this link terminations. This is the R2, this is the R1. So this user is going to complain you, hey, I'm facing the problem, right? So what troubleshooting step you're going to do that? So basically you have to start troubleshooting. Let's suppose you are the L1 engineer. Don't take otherwise, because this is the how hierarchy work, L1, L2, L3, and then further we have the consultant, we have the architect, L4 engineers also, that they're the senior level engineer. So initially ticket is going to land to the L1 engineer, and L1 engineer, what they're going to do that? They will just check like, do you have my any problem in the local link? Anyone have anything? Local link should be the MPLS. Anyone asking anything, guys? Please let me know. I do have any problem with the MPLS or internet link. First, they will check do link is down or not, right? They will check any kind of the error on the ports or not. Might be they are going to check the reliability of the link, right? Means some reliability should be full or might be less than 255. They are going to check overruns and any kind of the other alert from the interface level. So basic checks they are going to do that. But definitely in this scenario, my link is up, link is not down, still my link is up, my reliability is full, right? But the problem is the link having a latency. So how you configure the failover? Failover you configured based on the, like if my link is going to down, then my this base route is going to install in my routing table, and this is going to be deinstall from the routing table because the link is down. So definitely you will stop getting the best route from this particular primary router. Then your auto failover is going to happen. But here condition is you having a latency, not actual link down. Then how the troubleshooting is going to happen? So the troubleshooting is going to happen because it's a performance issue, and to just track the performance and make the failover, that is the very complex task. We can do that, but even that is not 100% doable. How we can do that? Might we are going to do the IPSLA configuration, you track some loss latency and you just do the failover, but you don't know how much latency is going to happen, how many packet I need to get a drop, then I do the failover. So that can be doable, but it's going to very complexity, like it is going to add complexity for your network. So many of the like WAN provider, even the enterprise company, not go for that kind of the tracking and all. They just simply go and do the failover scenario. If my this link having a problem, the traffic is going to fail over. Simple things. But the problem is my link is not down. I have the performance issue. Then how the failover is going to happen? So definitely L1 is not that much capable to just troubleshoot and fix the issue. He will transfer the ticket to the L2. So now L2 level 2 engineer who is a network engineer, network security engineer, anyone, they some engineers are very good, right? And some are like just promoted from the L1 to L2, or might be they have a knowledge but not very expertise level of knowledge. So in LAN I'm running the OSPF. Just think about, in LAN I'm running the HSRP, right? In WAN I'm running the BGP. So three routing protocol I have. So HSRP, that also acting as a first hop redundancy gateway protocol, right? And OSPF also running between the router, might be based on that OSPF reachability. I'm running the iBGP between these routers, right? So that's another complexity I'm adding. I'm running the HSRP again, OSPF just make the iBGP connectivity for any kind of the path manipulation. And on the WAN, I'm running the eBGP. So let's say suppose the L2 who is trying to fix this issue, what they have to do? They have to do manual failover, right? So if we have to do the manual failover, what is going to be happen? He have to be very good knowledge of the OSPF. He have to very good knowledge of the HSRP. He have the very good knowledge of the BGP, IBGP, EBGP, and also they are very good in the attribute, BGP attribute. Let's suppose you configure the local preference, you configure the AS path prevent. So if they are the expertise that level, then he can do the manual failover. If he is not expert, then probably he will open a case with the level 3 engineer. And level 3 come in a picture, or might a level 4 come in a picture, who have the very good knowledge of the OSPF, redistribution, HSRP, and BGP. Then probably he can create some kind of the HSRP priority failover. Then he will do check OSPF configuration, how my OSPF cost is there, how my BGP path manipulation is there, and how the redistribution is there, how what is the route coming based from this DC primary router, how the route coming from the backup router. So what attribute I need to change, then the traffic is going to be change from primary to secondary. So based on that scenario, this failover is going to be happen, and it is going to require a lot of concentration, lot of write script. If you're going to do any kind of the like mistakes, you have the complete outage, because this link have already problem, and somehow you have configured something wrong, then this is also going to be not send or receive the traffic. So you carefully have to plan, and then your failover is going to happen. Again, this link is going to be okay, then you have to revert the changes. So you can see a lot of manual intervention is there for the simple problem. But if I just talk about the SD-WAN solution, guys, you don't have to do anything. Trust me. You don't have to do anything. Even I have any kind of performance issue in my any link, it just be, let it be. I will configure something, and based on that something, if anything is going to be create a problem for performance, auto switch is going to happen. No L1 ticket, no L2 ticket, no L3 ticket, no redistribution, nothing is required. Right. So the magic is going to happen in automatically in the SD-WAN solution. So similarly, we have a lot of examples I'll give in a later stage how this benefits is going to be happen for the SD-WAN solution. But let's talk to the high level, right? So when having this kind of the MPLS problem, very complex, we having the backhauling traffic, like every time you have to send the traffic to DC, and then you have to send any kind of the application, or maybe the Azure cloud, AWS cloud, any SaaS application. So traffic black holing is one of the problem, right? So you have the single dependency, you have the DCDR architecture, every traffic is going DC. Somebody is doing anything in DC, or maybe DC is going to be hacked, or DC is going to be completely compromised. You are going to lose each and everything, right? That's also a problem. In flexible, that is a problem that was talking about the cloud integration. Means that WAN was not that much capable, which is going to be integrate the cloud. If you're going to do that, that is going to create a problem. That at the same time, we have the cost issue, right? So you have to make the resilience of the MPLS circuits for the remote at any branch location. That is going to cost a lot for you, right? I talk about the performance is a very good example. Latency issue, right? If you have the high latency, right? So basically for any cloud application, any SaaS application, any DCDR application, so you don't have any kind of the solution which can be very perfect and 100% foolproof. We can automatically do something magic, and it is going to be auto failover. So you have to do the lot of configuration. That is going to add the complex configuration issue, right? So in always in the legacy WAN, we have the complex configuration issue, right? So let me hear, right? Why complex configuration issue? Because I just give the example, right? Uh, we have to run a lot of protocols and we have to do a lot of redistributions. So if engineers are not that much, capable, that it is going to be create a problem. Most important, guys, if I talk about the legacy WAN, any questions? Praful, you want to ask anything or anyone else? Or is it good till now? I'm keep speaking last 30 minutes. Any questions, guys?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, Praful. If anyone have any question or any point you want to put, right, I really appreciate that. Okay, there is no problem. So, Vivek, you want to ask something? Vivek? Okay. So complex configuration is there. Most important, right, guys, we have the security problem, right? So because I'm the security instructor, right? So we have the security gaps or the problems.
पता है कि एसडीएन की ये बोलता है वो क्या बोलते हैं स्ट्रिक्ट क्यों
Mm-hmm.
हम
Hello, Vivek, can you ask your question
मुझे
again?
मेरा भी
I'm not sure what he asking. So let's continue. So security gap, guys. So what is a security problem, right? So in legacy WAN, if I'm going to design any branch location and data center locations, so these WANs doesn't have any kind of security features. Means if I'm going to use the WAN solution, I must have to integrate some firewalls, right? And these firewalls are going to maintain the security. Means any traffic I'm sending from my branch location, data center location, from data center to internet, or if I'm going to use direct internet access, that is a DIS circuits, that again I have to deploy the firewalls. So that firewall also going to add additional cost to you. And not only the hardware cost, you also bring the security engineers to just manage those firewalls. And they are like very particular. If someone is the firewall engineer, they are very, like, what I can say, they are very particular about the firewall technology only. They're not going to touch your routers and the switches. No, no, I'm firewall engineer. I'm just going to do the firewall jobs. But now a trend has been changed. People are or company are asking about the multitasking engineer. So it's mandatory. People are sitting together, knock and sock, or maybe the implementation team or design team or some other kind of the architect team, and they all are doing the all work because they are giving the good salary, good package, and during the interview they are just asking if you have that much skill, then they are going to hire. So they give the work and people are doing happily. So the trend has been a little bit changed, but still I have seen a lot of projects are running where people are just doing some are doing the switching, so he's a switching expert. Some are doing the wireless, so wireless expert. Some is doing the SD-WAN, then he's doing just SD-WAN work. Some firewall, then firewall work. So it depends on your projects, where you are and which company you are and what is the culture. Then definitely you are going to get more opportunity if you have the multitasking work. So firewalls was missing, completely missing in the WAN solution, and you have to integrate the firewalls by third party. So again, it is going to add a new cost, hardware cost, engineers cost. So if I'm going to use the SD-WAN solution, that probably I can completely remove the firewalls. Completely remove. I am just emphasizing it because SD-WAN itself have the firewall features. If I talk about SD-WAN, let me show you. Probably if my lab is on, I will show you something good thing to you all. Let me see if it is okay. So this SD-WAN have the all, you can do the IPS, IDS, you can do the any kind of the URL filtering, you can integrate the Cisco umbrella, right? You can do the URL filtering, advanced malware protections, everything application based, you can control, you can do that. So every feature available with this particular SD-WAN. So you don't have to be, go and buy any kind of the third party firewalls, right? So you can save a lot cost, and based on that, you can just do some magic. Let me see if it is yes, ready. So this is my like this is ongoing batch labs, right? So already everything is configured on this SD-WAN. Not everything, like the controllers and the branches are onboarded. So you can see the vBond, vManage, vSmart, and the edges are there. One edge is down, probably due to some kind of the link issue, VH5. So it will up, no problem. So I'll check later why it is. So you can see in the security, right? So this security, if I just go here and you can see we have custom direct internet access, we can compliance and all. So let's suppose I want to configure some custom policy. So I can proceed it here and it is going to ask me to create the security policy. So we have the firewall feature. If I just add some random firewall rule, let me just create one of the firewall rule. So I'm just going to add it here. Just let me show you. So don't worry if you're not able to digest, I will explain later on, right? What does mean, but just I'm showcasing you what all feature available. So let me I'm just using the test. I'm not going to explain why I'm using this, but let's understand. So everything will drop right now. Okay. Test source prefix. Right. I'm just saving this firewall policy. So after that, you can see ID after firewalls, we have the intrusion preventions, right? So I can add something else for the intrusion preventions. So you can just put the any VPNs. I'll explain what is a VPN later on, but I can just put the policy name again, test 1, 2. I'll leave it everything. You can see signatures. I'll explain what is a signature and all. So if you have the firewall knowledge, you can see URL filtering. You can see, so even URL filtering is available here. So I'm just showing the features. Even you don't have to like depend on the any third party firewalls. Every feature is available. It's a equally next generation firewall. So I can just click same. So URL filtering we have, IPS we have, right? We have the firewall, like you can go with the port protocol. So you can see a lot of web category we have. So any web category you want to the block or allow, you can do that. So I just block for the abortions, URL filtering. Then you have the advanced malware protections. So it's like the antivirus, malware, vulnerability, that all is going to be captures without any problem. So that ATP is there. So you don't have to worry about anything. So this required the MP cloud advanced malware protection is like you just have to, let's suppose I want to use the APC. So you just have to give the region for which region you want to use. This is going to be integrated with that sandbox. Then we have the DNS security. This is the Cisco umbrella. If you want to integrate, that is not going to be integrated because we don't have the license. So we can just, save. It is not going to be saved. So probably we have to cancel it, Cisco umbrella. We have to go with the next, and then we have the final policy, right? So I can just put the name final policy. And I can simply, you see the policy preview. So it is going to give the your CLI command, whatever you configured. So you configured some kind of the intrusion preventions, URL filtering, ATP, zone-based testing, this is default rule and all. You save the policy, and then we can call to the different kind of the template we have, and that's after it is going to apply on this routers, and it is going to process whenever traffic is going to come from LAN to WAN or maybe side to side. This firewall feature is going to come in a picture and is going to help to just protect your any kind of the configuration which is not aligned or any kind of transition which is not aligned with your company policy, right? So this is also very important, guys, and it is available with this Palo Alto firewall, sorry, this SD-WAN, and you don't have to purchase any third-party firewalls, right? So technically, this is not part of the course content, but because I'm the security instructor, so I love to explain and showcase like how this feature is going to work. But being a SD-WAN engineer, you don't have to configure these security features. This is purely job of the security team. But it's worth to know how we can configure the different features. Theoretically, you have to understand what is the URL filtering, what is the next generation firewall, what is the advanced malware protections, why you use that, what is the stateful inspection, what is the stateless inspection. That I'll definitely explain. But practically also I'll do one lab, right? But you are not responsible for this kind of the work for the configurations, right? Okay, so we discuss about the lot of challenges. And if I talk about further benefits of the SD-WAN, right? So we have a lot of benefits, right? Whatever challenges I discuss, that is going to convert it in the benefits when I talk about the SD-WAN. So what is the SD-WAN? So first thing, if I talk about the SD-WAN, WAN was the wide area network, and this is known as the software defined wide area network. So WAN was just a wide area network, and it has become the software defined wide area network. So you can just think about, if something you are going to put as a software, right? Like we have the mobile phone, and then it's become the smart mobile phone. So when you have the mobile phone, like you can just remember the Nokia, we have the mobile where we just have some buttons, we have some black and white lights, and we just have the very robust battery. So that mobile was also doing some work, right? We can do the calling, we can do the text messages. So main basic purpose of any mobile phone is the calling and text messages. But why it's become the smart? Because a lot of software has been upgraded, right? The architecture has been changed, the display has been changed, the battery power has been changed. They have integrated the camera. So a lot of feature they have integrated. Because of that, software has been upgraded, and that's become the smartphones. People are going to, very crazy to use those smartphone, and everyone start using that. And now, right now, almost point some percentage people are using the legacy phones. Why? Because everyone love to work with the smartphone, because they have the YouTube, live streaming, WhatsApp, video call, a lot of features are available. Similarly, when we put the software in legacy WAN, that's it become the very powerful and very intelligence. Earlier it was not there, because it was not a software driven, it was the based on the iOS, and that iOS having the limited capabilities. And again, in the SD-WAN we have the iOS, but this iOS have the more feature. They have the integration of the software, and they can do a lot of things which earlier it was not possible. So that's why it is the, like, the, you can see here, an SD-WAN use the centralized, what is centralized? I explain that control function to steer the traffic securely and intelligently across the WAN and directly to the trusted SaaS and also IaaS providers, infrastructure as services, software as services. This increases the application performance and deliver high quality user experience. High quality user experience? Just take one example what I have given, like the performance issue, latency issue. One scenario, if I have the WAN solution and I have some latency and performance issue, how my troubleshooting step is going to be happen? We have a lot of complexity. So my user experience is going to be degraded. Let's suppose I am the user, I have some issue to access any application, and you are going to take 2 hours to do the failover. So definitely I'm not going to be happy. But if I'm going to use the SD-WAN who just quickly do within the seconds, then I'll be very happy. So my experience is going to be very good, right? This WAN is very faster. Let's think in this way. You have some kind of the router in your home. One is the Airtel, or one might be from the Geo. Both service provider is available, right? You watching the video might be latest Honey Singh song, Pile, right? That could be the one song recently launched by the Honey Singh. So you're watching the song in full resolution, right? And Geo have very buffering speed, right? So definitely you're going to be, very, unhappy with the Geo experience. And if you move to the Airtel, it is very super fast. Even you're watching the 4K, that is running in like smoothly. So your experience is going to be very great. Similarly, anything, if you're working from the office, accessing any application, and you have the flawless connectivity, then probably you're going to be very happy, right? So high quality user experience, which increase the business productivity. So if you have the right internet, right connectivity, so if something is slow, then might be you're not going to do the X amount of work in 8 hours. But something is good, right? And it's a super fast, then you can quickly do that, and your productivity is going to very superb. So that also very helpful for the company. And also it is agility, and it is going to reduce the cost. So these are the summarized feature of the SD-WAN. We'll just break down what is a centralized mean, what is a decentralized mean, right? How steer traffic is going to happen. It's like, so steering traffic, steering is one of the features securely and intelligently. That's why it's become the intelligently, because they have the software. So it also understand how the software is going to make the game change in the SD-WAN. And in addition of that, it have the feature improve performance I'll break down these all things in very detail, how it is going to improve. I given couple of the examples, but I'll give the more real-time examples. Burst security, I'll discuss the firewall. Lower down complexity, I'll given the example like the how the troubleshooting, one of the example. Cloud uses, I given like how this integration is going to happen for the SaaS application Azure AWS. Reduce cost, I'll discuss like how the cost saving is going to happen. And intent-based networking. What does means intent-based networking? That I talk about the very basic examples. Let's suppose you have to do the routing for the Citrix and the FTP and DR, means any other application based on the destination routing, it will always go for the one link. But let's suppose you have the requirement based on the application you want to do the routing. That flexibility was not available, right, in the WAN solution. So because of that, you cannot, do the intent-based routing. You just have to work on the legacy solutions. So if I just go and discuss about the intent-based routing, that is possible in the SD-WAN. And based on my intent, my need, I can manipulate my path. So that also a good thing available with the SD-WAN solution. Predictable user experience means the application experience, like whatever the user like using that, they have the real-time database. Let me show you something. Okay, so let's suppose if you have some kind of real-time, if you want to check that. So let me show you something. We'll configure from the scratch, so you don't have to worry why I'm showing this way. So if I'm going to real time, you can see here any device, right? So any application you want to track that, just click on the applications. So probably we are not going to access right now applications, so we don't have any data. But any application you are accessing based on the 1 hour, 3 hours, 6 hour, any custom time you want to get how my application performed during that time. Your all application data is going to be available. Any interface bandwidth utilizations like traffic, you want to get that all is available. WAN throughput, right? Any top talkers, right? Tunnels information, firewall features. So a lot of things are available here if you want to do some troubleshooting, right? Let me show here. So that troubleshooting also, like you want to do the ping, trace, you want to simulate the traffic from which link it is going on. So that all feature available. I'll break down in very detail later on, but this all available. So you can easily figure it out what is happening in my network and how my WAN is performing. If any issue is going to arise, you can just have the historical data. You don't have to go in the third-party tools like the SolarWind and the other like monitoring tool, and you just have to go and put the report and you just have to figure it out what has happened. You just have to go in the vManage and everything is available, and you can just go and like pull the report or check what has happened particular time of the period. So these features are available. Application aware routing, right? That's the most important, right? So how I can do the routing based on the application aware routing, I'll discuss very detail. And also we have the zero trust provisioning, ZTP process. This is something a magic, right? So let me put some insight on the zero trust provisioning real time, so you guys can understand. So what is zero trust provisioning? So let's suppose I have the one of the scenario. I have the legacy WAN. Legacy WAN means this router is not SD-WAN router. I have this is normal Cisco ASR router, ISR router, CSR router, or might be normal other like a small range router, right? Like we 1941 or might be the any kind of the 2951 or other small routers. This router is going to be faulty, then what is your steps? So if this router is going to be faulty, then your steps should be you have to raise the ticket with the Cisco. They are going to raise the means basically you have to raise the replacement RMA, and then after this, Cisco is going to dispatch your router to the branch location. Then you have to align some field engineer or maybe the local IT team people who going to unmount this router from the rack. And after unmounting this router from the rack, he need to mount again the router in the rack. He need to give the console access to you if you are remotely accessing this router. Then you have to put the configuration. The configuration backup also should be there in some your repository, means in the some tool, third party tool, or might be the Excel file, or might be some manual, some file server you have to put there. Then you have to send the running configuration to this particular field engineer. That running configuration exactly not going to be copy and paste because some commands are required to do the no shut. Some command need to modify, right? If I do the exactly copy paste, it will throw an error because some interfaces are going to shut mode and you just do the configuration. It was going to be shut only, right? It is not going to be unshut. So you have to correct those configuration also. You have to modify those configuration also. It's not like simply copy paste job is going to happen. And some time also you have the issue, some field engineer internet is not working, data center not having right internet, console cable not working, copy paste not working on the your putty sessions, or might be the Zoom session, or might the team session, or might be the Webex session, whatever you have. So sometime it's very smooth. You can do the router replacement within the 30 minute or 1 hour, but sometimes it's become very complex and it's take entire your day. I have the experience. That's why I'm talking about it. Or even more than that, because we have some unforeseen activities or like situation which cannot be avoided. So we have to keep wait, and we have to do a lot of things to just make the configuration. So to just replace one router in the WAN solution, we have a lot of dependency. First, we have to make sure router should be there. Then we have to do the remote configuration. Then LAN WAN connection is going to be happen. We have to arrange the site engineer. We have to make sure they have the FTP, iOS download, and then they have to correct the iOS and everything they have to do manually. But if I have the SD-WAN router, I require the RMA. That's fine. I don't need to any kind of the engineer on the site. I will simply ask my any local IT team, or might be the my any field engineer. He just go and connect the LAN WAN cable on the router and just connect the power source and just turn on the router. This will automatically going to be configured. You don't have to do anything, guys, right? That's known as the zero touch provisioning. Means we are not doing anything configuration here, and it is going to be auto configure, right? So that will see how zero touch provisioning is going to be happen. And that also they have the concept of zero trust. So zero trust by default, I'm not going to trust to anyone. Means if anyone want to join the SD-WAN fabric, they must have to like prove their identity. Zero trust means you have to prove your identity. If you're not going to prove your identity, I'm not going to accept it. Let's suppose I'm just clear my interview, right? HR know that, your manager know that you are the person, Mr. ABC, and you are the only who cracked the interview, right? But still they are not going to onboard you in the company unless or until they will verify your credentials. Means whatever experience you have, whatever your like address proof they have, or maybe certification you have, they will validate first. Not only by themselves, they will also hire third party agency who just going through their verification. You keep saying I have done everything, but still they are not going to trust on you. So once they will validate, then only they are going to welcome you in the company, and happily you can start your journey with any XYZ company. So similarly in SD-WAN, any device want to join the fabric, means this SD-WAN router want to join this SD-WAN fabric. So they have to prove their identity. If they fail to prove their identity, they will never ever join to this particular fabric. They will never ever to communicate with the vManage or another branch location. So that is a zero trust. So how it is going to prove? Based on the two parameter. One is certificate, and that is a second is the chassis number. So we'll see how the certification is going to be happen. So if I just open any kind of the router. So you have,
Vishal,
yes.
just one question. What is the difference between ZTP and PNP?
So Chitresh, that's a good question. So ZTP and PNP, technically they both are the same, right? PNP is more about you can just plug and play, and ZTP is like zero touch provisioning. So technically they are the same. The difference is like if you have the Cisco Smart portal, right? So that is known as the PNP portal. That is the equivalent to ZTP portal. Earlier when the Viptela was there, so they used the ZTP portal. But now the Cisco Smart portal, whenever you go provision for any CH or VH routers, you just always go and purchase the devices. You have to register, or might be the auto register. So you just have to register device with the serial number on your PNP portal. Equally, it is going to be act as a ZTP like similarly. So they are technically same. You don't have to like bifurcation. But earlier it was a ZTP like portal, but now it's a PNP portal.
Okay.
So we just have to register devices. Let me show you how it is going to. Technically, let me show you. That's a good question. So, yeah. So you see here, right? So this is the PNP portal, right? Probably if you guys are working, right? So you have the idea. So this is a plug and play. So what do you have to do that? Let's suppose you're purchasing any devices from the VS, CH, whatever you're purchasing, you just have to register with the serial number. See, so this is the VH, right? Similarly, you have the CS. You just have to put the product ID, serial number, and the control profile as per your like whatever the like company have their control profile, and then you just have to save. That is going to be like integrated device is going to be in database of this particular PNP portal. And once you have the like
This other than the vBond. This is not the vBond, right?
Uh, see, vBond is something different. PNP portal is something different. So whatever data you have, right, that
Yeah.
is going to sync with this particular portal. You can see, let me show you. You just go into device. Here, sync to a smart account we have, right? So this smart account is a PNP portal. So once
Okay.
you sync here, whatever database is there, it is going to be auto sync. And this database is also going to be sync with the vBond. So vBond is something different, PNP is something different, and but all and we manage something different, but all are going to integrate if you have the Cisco ecosystem. Means if you're going to take the direct everything which is hosted in the Cisco like controller, so you don't have to do anything. Certification even going to bypass, and everything is going to sync by default with this smart account, and you just have to do onboarding process. But let's suppose my in-house hosted controller I have, right? And
Yeah.
I have not even taken some kind of the services from the Cisco, right? I have the smart account. So I have to sync my smart account that is going to give the my inventory detail, but probably I have to do the other provisioning for my control by my own self. And certification might be have the root CA that is a not Cisco automated. I want to use my
Okay.
enterprise root CA, so I have to do the different process for that. So in lab also, because the lab is not uh, like uh, like actual lab, it's actual images, but not from the Cisco actual devices. So we
Yeah.
cannot go and take the smart account portal. So we are using the root CA. That is our enterprise root CA. So that means this whole labs we are building by our company, and we are
Yeah.
not in dependency on the Cisco. So we can do
Sorry, just
everything.
one more question. If I missed it, like you have said, like if we are taking it from Cisco, so what all we will get it from Cisco? Is it vBond and vSmart or
So what is going to be happen? Let's suppose I want to deploy the SD-WAN solution for any customer, right?
yeah?
So basically, customer have to take a contract from the Cisco, right? First, or might be if I'm the mediator, or might be the managed service for that customer and consulting part of that customer. So
Yeah.
I'll be responsible to give the solution to the customer. Customer will directly come to me, and I'll be on behalf of the customer give the best solution, right? So there is two way. I can ask Cisco, just give me controller deployment at your clouds of like servers, whatever they have, right? So Cisco will give the your instances where the controller is going to deploy, and also they will give the Cisco Smart Account portal. That is one option. Second
Okay.
option, I will simply take the Cisco definitely going to create my Cisco account portal, and based on that, whatever device I'm going to purchase, they are going to be registered there. And I'm going to deploy this controller, might be the Azure, AWS, or GCP. That is also doable. So I will be responsible to manage those controller, and that devices are going to connect with the Cisco Smart portal from there also, right? That is
Okay.
second
Okay.
option.
Yeah.
Third option, what we can do that I can host my this controller likewise we are doing in the lab in my own data center. So they are
Yeah.
hosting
Yeah.
right now in
Okay.
the ESXi, right? ESXi server. And from there, I'm just building all the branch locations. So all three options is available. Just this matter of choice, what actually we are looking for. Okay, Chitresh?
Okay. Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. By the way, this is a good question. So we'll discuss more later on. So what I was discussing, and I forgot, sorry. So I was discussing zero trust and zero trust provisioning, right? So we don't have to do anything in zero touch. It is going to be automatic configured. Zero trust, I'm not going to trust on you, and you have to prove every time identity. And based on these two things. So if I just go and show you, so certificate serial. So you can see this is my chassis number and this is the serial number. Based on these chassis and serial number, my vBond is going to identify me, and vManage also going to identify me. If this is something not there, you are not going to be on board on the fabric, right? So that's all, guys, from my side today, right? Because I almost discussed 1 hour and it's the beginning of the session, so I will not take much time. I'll open session for the everyone. If you have any questions, you can have the open discussion. So it's up to you guys. Please let me know if you have any questions, whatever we have discussion, or maybe anything if you want to ask, please feel free to ask.
So our classes will be from Monday to Thursday onwards. Like how? This is what we have.
So this is going to be happen Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday, 3 day in a week, and 1.5 hour every day. Will it fine, Jay?
Yeah, we need actually we have requested for weekdays only, but we need to check with all. We will check with all the participants.
Yeah,
Then
please check. If you have any problem, just talk to Abhishek sir. He will help you do the alignment. We'll see how it is going to be doable. If something is required to adjust it, we'll work out on that. There's no problem with the timings.
and how much time it will take to complete it? Now there are 3 classes.
So see, even we are going to do 5 days in a week, so that is going to be 5 hour, right? 5 and 5.5 hour, 1 hour in a daily basis. And we are going to discuss on the 3 day, it is going to be 1.5 hour daily. So it is going to almost 5 hour in a week. So I can say it is going to complete in the February, not before that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hers, you asking something?
Yeah, because initially we, as in like me and Jayant, and we discussed the idea that we discussed the idea of having classes 4 day a week, Monday to Thursday. So, anyways, we will pick that up with Abhishek.
Yeah, definitely.
For,
There's no problem with it. Like,
uh,
if you have any challenges, so we can work out on internally. There's no problem with the timing and like days. We'll see
okay,
that how
no
it is.
worries.
Okay. Any other questions, guys?
Vishal, just couple of things from my side. Regarding the lab, everyone will have their separate pod, right?
Yeah, so the lab is going to be happen individually, and one person lab is configured by the one person only. That is not going to be override the configuration. So let's suppose
That
I'm
includes the vManage and vBond as well, and vSmarts
yes,
as well.
the same lab, whatever topology I'm accessing here and whatever I'm
Yeah.
going to showcase in the session, exactly same because this is a pre-configured lab. So I'm not going to use this is for a different batch, okay, which is happening on
Okay.
the weekend, and we are going to configure from a scratch, okay. So what I'm going to do that. So you can see this is for the December batch, which is happening on the weekend. So I can just clone this lab. Once I'll clone this lab, which is the clone one, I believe. Which one? Yeah, this one. Okay. So I can just simply rename weekdays, right? So what
Yeah.
is going to happen? So now this lab is completely blank lab. There is no configuration. This is completely
Okay.
blank. Once I rename it, so this blank topology is going to be available for the everyone, and everyone have to do lab from scratch. Okay, every
Yeah.
configuration, whatever you're going to do that, like onboarding the site, creating the policy, doing the template configuration, device template, feature template, likewise, whatever we have done. Let me show you in this lab. Probably we have done a lot of configuration already. So similar thing, we have to do that. So you can see here. So here, if I'm going to template, you can see policy is still not started. So we have not. So we just created one of the template, just one single
Yeah. Yeah.
template. And also we created some feature template because this classes started. So you can see 14 December we have created. So similarly, we have to do for this weekdays batch also, we have to do the configuration, we have to do the policy. Policy is still not started. So we'll do.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it is going to be
Just one more
individually.
thing as well. Just one more thing. If I talk about Jayant and Harsh, and like we are all designers as well as implementers.
Okay.
So our requirement is more on the design side,
Mhm.
how you are going to design it and how you are going to mainly migrate it from a legacy network to the SD-WAN.
Okay, so I completely understand. So what we'll do that we'll talk the scenario like
Yeah.
this migration scenario because it's a very frequent requirement for the many professionals like you, designer or consultant or architect. Because
Yeah.
in general we have the legacy branches, and what is my best approach to migrate the branches or data center on the SD-WAN, and how this architecture is going to look like. So
Yeah.
we'll discuss how we can build our the one hub location, which is going to act as a transit location, and where my integration is going to happen from the legacy WAN to the SD-WAN solution, how my redistribution is going to happen, what is the best practices, and
Yeah.
how my integration from the legacy protocol to OMP is going to be happen. So definitely I'll take one session on that, and
Okay.
you can understand definitely.
And will there be any automation lab as well? Like if we want to do any type of
Uh,
supported in
Automation,
SD-WAN?
I can just talk out of the box
Yes,
how
yes.
automation is
That
going
will
to
be
be happen based on the Postman tool. Basically, it's a
okay.
Cisco recommended tool, how it is going to happen. But to be honest, in this SD-WAN curriculum, we are not covering the automations. Okay.
Just a very brief overview, like how
Yeah,
we can
definitely.
implement.
We will talk how the based on the APIs, REST API or might be the API,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
we can do the configuration from the Postman, how we can just do the different API calls. So I'll discuss that. There's no problem. Okay. So at least
Okay.
you see how to communicate with the vManage to the REST API. And what I'll use one of the sandbox because that requires the public IP. Okay. And here we have the
Okay.
private IP address. So we will use the dcloud sandbox. I'll show you and I'll try to do some kind of simulations. Okay,
Okay.
Chitra?
Yeah, yeah. And just one more thing, sorry, Vishal, can we have your background, like how, like you are into training only, or like you are into practice, you are working somewhere,
So
or like
I already have the very good exposure and working consultant for a different project for this SD-WAN. So you can just think about the have the hybrid kind of the culture I have, like not only the training, it's like the real time deployment strategy also I have.
okay,
So
okay.
we'll discuss.
Can
You
you give like
understand
live
little bit once
examples as
we
well,
started.
like live scenarios where you have experience as well?
Definitely, it's
You wish
not more about a training. I'm just pure engineer. Okay, so that's I can
okay,
talk more about the real time scenario, not only the
yeah,
training related stuff. Okay.
okay, yeah, okay. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitresh. Any other questions, guys?
Yeah, just wanted to know, like, are we going to get any recordings, like, in case someone missed the class, so that?
Yeah, so definitely recording is there and it's going to be lifetime access for the everyone. So all classes is going to be recorded. Today I
Mhm.
forgot that, but no worry. This is the open session, so it is going to be available on the live streaming. So that recording also going to be available. So I missed that. So sometime you guys also remind me to do not miss the recordings. So definitely recording is going to be there, and it is going to be accessible for your like recap.
Okay. And you mentioned that the duration of this course would be like, it will be till Feb.
Yeah,
So,
because there are the like already Christmas and New Year, so some might be the
Mhm.
plan of the leaves for the everyone, right? So also I'm the human, also I need some leaves. Okay,
Yeah.
so probably it is going to little bit slow during this end of this year and the beginning of the not beginning of the year. Probably will be the full flash from the 2nd of January. But during before and after like Christmas and before 2nd of January, probably have some kind of the leave will go slowly. But after that we'll go and we'll try to finish by the February. Okay.
Okay. And the lab access will be till the course finishes, and or it will be like you may have
It
the
will be
access.
definitely till the course is there. That is definitely lab would be there. So technically 2 months labs, and we expecting 2 months session is going to be happen. But
Mhm.
practically it's take 2.5 months. So don't worry, 2.5 months lab will be
Yeah.
there.
In
So
case
that
someone, do more practice, or someone not able to perform the lab during the course, he may want access like later, like 10-15 days till the, after the course. So that's why I'm
yeah,
asking.
definitely. No need to worry about that. We'll take care of that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So. All right, guys. So I believe that's all from my side for today, and see you again next session by today's Tuesday. Let's talk tomorrow with Abhishek sir, and let's finalize the modules, right? How it is going to happen, and definitely as per the everyone like convenience, we'll plan the batch. Probably it is going to happen 4 day a week or might be the 3 day a week. So it's totally flexible.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Bye bye.
I
Yeah, yeah.
had I had one question. So basically, it is 17th. So by the end of December, can we have the DC ready, like for the all the vBonds, and we have the VH onboarded on the vManage?
We can do that. There is no problem. So
Yeah.
what we can do that. Let's have the session on 19th session. Definitely is going to be happen. One session
Yes.
19, and one session is going to happen on 21st. Two session is going
Yeah.
to happen. So on Saturday, right? I can make sure this is going to be ready. No need to worry about that. If everything is going to be like good as per you guys. All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
If not on Saturday, then definitely we'll do by, or maybe Saturday we'll do that anyhow. Okay. Because
Okay.
we have
Thank you.
a holiday. So, all right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you. Bye bye.